I'm actually good. Obviously, like...
Talk to me.
I just chat down with them. I was just like, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to chat to who I want to chat to.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have, like... There's
had a good chat yesterday.
There's something that I want to explore, basically.
Yeah. Talk to me.
Okay, time to form a defense league because I'm not happy at all. I am not happy. I am part of the Catherine Defense League now because at the end of the day, the producers need to tell us why they brought her back. First time round, her edit was terrible. I'm not saying she wasn't guilty of some of the things that came out of her mouth, but the audacity to bring her back and then not bring someone that she will like and then put her in a situation whereby we only get to see her say not even 2 sentences and not be on the screen for more, not even a minute. Make that make sense. I don't get it. And then I'm here for Ronnie and Kaz. I think they'll make a cute couple. I'm going to predict that. I think they make a cute couple because if Ronnie is not going to be with Catherine, I would rather he be with Kaz. And I think they match each other's energy better because they're both from South London. They are both just... You know, it is what it is. Turbo needs someone to sort of contain him. And I think Kaz would be that person. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by, to girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Ĺove Island All Stars, Season 2, Episode 3. I don't understand why people are dragging Kaz. Let's be for real. Let's really be for real. Is anyone surprised? We were all thinking it. We all know that Casey is not serious. He's not seriously looking for a relationship. He goes to Ĺove Island for the clout and he goes there to meet his latest group of friends and also to make out with a couple of girls. And then he goes back to the real world and goes through, you know, the Rolodex of ex-Ĺove Islanders. So I'm not surprised and I don't understand why people are upset with him. Even he knows the truth because the way he forgave her so quickly, you can tell he knows she said the truth. She said the truth and he knows it. Yes, I agree with Kaz that she shouldn't have named all the girls, but at the end of the day, we've all seen him. He played the girls in the villa his first time round. He played them in All Stars and is here again. I'm just waiting for everyone to realize who he is. So the islanders gather around the fire pit and it's time for a game. And I'm like side-eyeing the producer saying, you know, these are all stars. These are not, you know, wannabes. So please make sure whatever games you're bringing up that they actually will agree to play them because they really don't need you. You need them more than they need you. Anyway, so it's truth or dare. And the first person up is Curtis. And Curtis is, you know, like the islander, Lick the Islander from top to bottom, who is the complete package, and he goes for India. I think Ekin-su thought he was going to kiss her, but he decided to sort of be a wild card and leave himself open to other options. Maybe he's trying to make Ekin-su jealous. I don't know. Next up is Scott. He's asked to kiss 3 islanders of your choice and rate each kiss. So he kisses India. He gives her a 10. He kisses Olivia 9 and then Kaz 9. And Kaz wasn't feeling that. She said maybe he gave his partner India the highest score because he didn't want Ag. You have Naz, he's Snog the Islander, playing the most games, and he chooses to kiss Catherine because it says he thinks nobody else is playing games. But I think he felt like Catherine was the only person he was in a couple with, and he didn't want the rejection from the other girls. I think this is why he did that, or maybe he just felt no one was ever going to kiss Catherine, so he decided to pick her. I don't get it. Luca was asked, have a 3-way kiss with the most attractive islanders. He went for Kaz and India. I know he's close friends with Kaz, it seems. And India, I didn't quite get that. I really didn't get that. Maybe she'll like him, but they had this thing on day 1 where she said he was too young for her. So I don't know where that's going. Olivia's was Snog the Islander, who you think is the biggest flirt, and she kissed Scott, and you had Luca saying, oh, that's slow and sensual. She said she kissed him once and she wanted a second kiss, so hey, to each their own. Ronnie Turbo is crazy. Turbo just wanted to kiss the girls, and I think he made up his own ticket. Everybody else thought the same because his was Snog the 3 sexiest islanders, and he ran straight for Elma because he's in a couple with her. Then he kissed Ekin-su. I think he also kissed Kaz. I think he wanted to kiss all the girls, so he saw this as his opportunity to do that. Kaz was have a plank competition with the island that you think is the biggest competition or your biggest competition, and she chose Ekin-su because she said Ekin-su stole my man, which makes sense because it would have been a bit aux galore if she had picked anyone else. At least that there's an explanation for that. Marcel's was sexy slow dance with the islander of your choice, and he chose Catherine. And this was cute because Catherine hasn't had anyone pick her, and I don't get it. This is what I don't like about Love Island. I'm going to say it. I think people of color need to do what people of color did on Love Island Australia. They need to stop applying. Locals need to stop applying. That way they have no choice but to import people, because at the end of the day, they keep bringing these people on and then they treat them like crap. Last season we had Kaz is stunning and they wouldn't bring anyone for her. The same thing has happened this season for Catherine. I'm side-eyeing the producers. If they don't bring someone for her, I'm side-eyeing them. Anyway, off my high horse. Next is Ekin-su. Hers is fake an orgasm in front of an islander you think is the loudest in bed. She decided to, ride Curtis, and he seems to enjoy it. Gabby's up. She's asked to kiss the islander your friends would warn you about, and she chooses to kiss Casey. And the audacity for Casey to say, well, she just wanted to kiss me, that's why she thinks she's decided to kiss me. And it's like, nah, her friend Kaz has already warned everyone about you, so she's just continuing with whatever has been preset. I thought she was going to kiss Marcel, but I think she's decided to be the bigger person, so she decided to go for the other walking red flag, Casey. Curtis is asked to seductively kiss to, the islander to the left of you on the neck for 30 seconds. And he kissed Ekin-su, and apparently Ekin-su enjoyed it so much she called him daddy. And it's like, hey, to each their own, as long as, they're giving each other a preview before they get to bed. That was a good game, I think. It was nice and clean. There was no, mess. Yeah, it was a bit messy and shady elsewhere, but it wasn't like people passing saliva to saliva to saliva. Once the game ends, you have Kaz sit down with Curtis and sort of try to suss out, I think, where they stand. And Curtis is very vague because he said, she's a big personality, so I really don't know where I stand. I'm still trying to see what's there. And it's just like, Curtis, just tell her the truth that you want someone who's going to get you the attention that you want, and you think Ekin-su is that person. So that's where you're going to stay, and stop wasting her time, because there's really no need for you to be wasting her time at all. You have Gabby sit down for a conversation with India, and they're sort of talking about the fact that she's, she really needed to kiss Casey because she's happy he's in the villa, because, she really needed this. And it's like, seriously, from one walking red flag to another, from Marcel to Casey, make it make sense. Of all the guys in the villa, make it make sense. I know people want to stay in the villa, but at times, it's better to be single than put up with BS, because I don't think there's anything about Casey that stands out, in my opinion, apart from the fact that either his granddad owns the land that the show is filmed on, or one of the producers is related to him. That's the only opinion that I have about him, because there's nothing about Casey that tells you that, he will make an ideal guy for someone. Kaz sits down for a conversation with Olivia, just to sort of tell her what Lucas said. I'm sort of two minds of it. I don't know whether Kaz did that as a way to warn a friend, or whether she did that because she likes Luca. I don't know where Kaz stands at the moment. I think she's sort of in limbo because she doesn't have a partner. Her partner's been taken and she doesn't have someone. I don't think Olivia is the best person to be befriending. Olivia then goes into her actress mode and starts, bringing the waterworks. And it's like, why are you crying? If you say you know this guy in the real world and you know that you've been talking to his friend, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Did you think he and you would play this thing to the very end and pretend to be in a relationship? No, you've already used that card up when you did that with Kai. This time you really need to have a connection, or else pack your bags and go home. The guys noticed this and they sort of brought it up to Luca's attention. And so Luca didn't know what to do with himself. He eventually pulls her for a chat and sort of tries to explain to her, and she's upset with him to say, why didn't you tell me he's feeling some type of way, because why did Kaz say so? And it's like, well, you told Kaz. What did you expect her to do with it? I don't understand people that go on Love Island and expect privacy. And it's like, privacy from who? From people in the villa or from the viewers? Because we are all watching what you're saying to the other person. So it's not like it's going to be a secret. It's not like it's going to be a secret. And besides, there are producers there who are going to encourage the news to be shared. That way it becomes dramatic and messy. So for you to be upset with Kaz doesn't make sense. You said it. She dished it out for you before you could dish it out. You should have dished it out yourself. But hey, it is what it is. I'm going to need the producers to explain to me why they felt it was a good idea to bring back Catherine to Love Island, because all we saw was her and Naz have a conversation about the kiss, and it wasn't even 30 seconds. All they said it was, I was shocked by the kiss, I was shocked by the kiss, it was a good kiss, it was a good kiss, and that's it. And suddenly, that's the end of their conversation, and it's like, make it make sense. Did you bring her there just to sit her there and have everyone look at her and be waiting for her to sort of make a move or say anything that they can turn on her? Make it make sense. I didn't get that, and I didn't understand why. That's all we heard of her, and it makes it very challenging to think that such a stunning girl is being wasted. Do they mean that none of the guys find her attractive, or is it sort of the producers sort of perpetuating the same stereotype that they set last season with Kaz when they didn't bring her anybody that would like her, and instead had a sort of play best friend to other people until she was eventually voted off? Make that make sense. You have Ekin-su pull Curtis for a chat, and so they go to the terrace, and we all know what Ekin-su does on the terrace. She always takes people that she wants to kiss on the terrace. So she had a first kiss. Well, Curtis leaned in for a kiss, and then because she asked him, were you happy that I chose you, or did you want me to pick Scott? And he said, no, I was ecstatic that you chose me. So he's happy to be, the in demand, and anyone would be happy to be in demand. So she chose him. He's happy. They share a kiss. Well, he leaned in first, and then she asked for a second kiss, which they both seemed to enjoy. And then the audacity of Ekin-su. Ekin-su is very sneaky and very messy, because she went down to the daybeds where people were laying there, and she could see Kaz was there, and then told everyone that she had shared a kiss with Curtis on the terrace. She told Olivia, and I think that was her way of letting Kaz know that, well, this guy is settling in with me, so you might need to make moves and look for somebody else. And that was messy. I think she should have pulled Kaz aside and had a conversation and just told her that we've been on the terrace with Curtis, we've shared a kiss, I just want you to know, no disrespect. That way Kaz at least knows that her person is gone and she can start making moves and looking for somebody else. Curtis was asked by the guys, did you kiss? And he just smiled and didn't say anything. And it's like, why are you being so shady and messy? Make that make sense. The Islanders then get ready for bed, and you have Kaz sort of talking about the fact that this has been a crappy night for her because she's had her partner taken, she's had the argument with Casey, and now she's just found out that her partner's made out with somebody else. Could it get any worse? And it's like, really, this is terrible. You have Elmer sort of saying that, well, if it makes any difference, Ronnie's kiss was crap. And it's like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why didn't you tell him? I hate it when people are always constantly sort of nitpicking someone. And on TV, for that matter, you're calling his kissing crap. Why then are you still in a couple with him if the kissing is crap? If you don't think he's your person, move on and find somebody else. Casey is there. You can speak to Casey and see if he's a better kisser. The Islanders get ready for bed. You have her in bed sort of telling Ronnie that your kissing is crap. You need to practice your kissing. And it's like, well, you're turning Ronnie off. And Ronnie, it doesn't take much to turn him off. So he's on to his next one because he doesn't like things that stress him out. So if you see him kissing other people or making moves with other people, know that you started it. He was happy with you. You started being messy. And so he's just taking the lead from you. Anyway, all the Islanders go to sleep. Casey obviously sleeps in a separate room because he's the only single Islander. Well, you still have Kaz upstairs, but she obviously was already there, and Casey's the bombshell. In the morning, the Islanders, wake up, they're in bed. Casey has to go up to everybody else, and Kaz offers him to jump into bed with her. Casey and Kaz are going to be that couple that we never saw coming. Really, they're going to be that couple we never saw coming, because their love-hate relationship is very sort of, I don't know, I really don't get it. And I have a feeling that as much as Kaz still has this thing for Curtis, I feel like she's going to end up with Casey, because they wind each other up, but they also get each other. They're giving me Davide and Ekin-su, but not as toxic as Davide and Ekin-su. I think if they can get over whatever this mess is, they'll be fine. You have, everybody go out. And so Kaz pulls, Curtis trying to have a chat with him, and he says, just give me a moment, I'll call you. And then he goes for a chat with Ekin-su, and they're sort of talking about their time in bed. And it's like, did the producers push him to go to Ekin-su first? Why did he feel the need to speak to Ekin-su first? Because it seems very dismissive for him to go and speak to Ekin-su when Kaz is saying she wants to chat with him and see where they are. He eventually sits down with Kaz, and Kaz says, she wants to know where he stands. She found out about the case from Ekin-su, and he wanted to know how, and she explained everything. And then so she asked him, are you still open to exploring a connection with me, or are we done and you're now set with Ekin-su? And he says it's early days, and it would be early days for him to sort of close himself off. And the problem with Ekin-su is he's only as good as the next bombshell that comes in through the door. If someone she likes comes in, or someone who's going to give her more attention comes in, she's going to dump him and go to that person. So I don't know how long this connection of his with her will last, and I can't wait to see what happens there. You have Luca have a conversation with Olivia, and they finally finalize things that they're not going to move on romantically just because she was talking to one of his friends. Let's be honest, they both knew they were never going to have anything romantic, given the fact that he spoke about his friends and said, his friends are very, very important to him. So the idea that Liv is sort of trying to pretend like, oh, why didn't you tell me? Why me? You knew you were seeing his friend. He told everybody that his friends were part of his relationship. So what made you think that he was going to continue anything with you? Make that make sense? So you had Kaz sit down for a conversation with Ronnie, and I actually loved it. I think they would make a cute couple, because Ronnie and his cheeky side and her just being able to call him on his BS would be amazing. Because the difference with Kaz and Jess from his season is that Kaz has also got an endearing side, so I think should be amazing for him. The fact that he told her immediately that I was told I was a crappy kisser, and she didn't call him out on it. She actually was very comforting in the way she responded to that. That was cute to see. And then to have Elma sort of continue on this Ronnie's a shit kisser, charade of hers, I didn't like it, irregardless of how bad it was. She didn't need to keep going at it. I think she was trying to go at it as a way of discouraging the other girls, because she was saying, I can't, be kissing the same person and is a crappy kisser. I would rather move on to somebody else. And Kaz said to her, the two of us can sort of, help teach him how to kiss, because Kaz was feeling some type of way. I think she was nervous about exploring anything with Ronnie because of the fact that she's close friends with the girls in the villa and she's a girl's girl. So Elma giving her the green light. I want them. I want Ronnie. If Ronnie cannot be with Catherine, then I would rather he be with Kaz, because I think he's got a sensitive side that we saw when he really looked after Mimi when Mimi was going through a challenging time during their season. This is why I'm always championing that I want Ronnie with so-and-so. I want Ronnie with so-and-so, because I think he would make an amazing partner for whoever he really falls in love with. I think he likes to play the field. I think he likes to go turbo, but at the same time, he's got this endearing quality that I like about him. And then you had Liv sit down for a conversation with Marcel. I think she's realized that all the other guys are out of her league, and she can't sort of pry them away from the other girls. So she's decided to go for the one that she thinks is available and is her best bet at sort of creating a connection. So she's decided to have a chat with Marcel. I knew he was almost 40, but I didn't, and he was married and he's going through a divorce, but I didn't realize he also had a kid. That's quite a lot of things to deal with. I'm going to say again, he should have gone on Married at First Sight or Love is Blind. This wasn't the show for him. This really wasn't the show for him, and I don't know why he ended up back here, whether it was him sort of trying to sort of reset his life from where things went left, or whether he really wanted to be on the show to find love. I don't get it, but I think this is not the place for someone his age, especially given his circumstances. It's not like he's talking about his diabetes or anything else, to say that I'm advocating for this, that, and the other. So I don't know how that will play out. Liv is not the best person. She hasn't come across as the most caring or endearing person. I don't know how that would work out, since he's about to be a divorced dad with a child. I can't wait to see that. Oh, the islanders get ready for the night, and personally, I feel like Elmer's really bruised Ronnie's ego because he keeps talking about the fact that he's been told that he's a crappy kisser, and that was really bad of her. That was really bad of her to say. It's not a nice thing to say, let alone on TV where it will live till eternity, and people will be able to bring it up constantly. So that wasn't a good look. You had the girl sort of asking, India, was she going to kiss Scotty? And India was saying, she really likes him. She's at the moment she's not exploring connections with anybody else, so she hopes that they do share a kiss. Scott is speaking to the guys, and the guys are encouraging him to kiss her again, and he's saying you'll see. I like the fact that Luca is loosening up. Maybe it's amongst the guys or maybe among the girls that he's comfortable with, because we get to see him actually joke and sort of be messy this season. Unlike on his season, he just stayed with Gemma and that was it. So it's nice to see him sort of poking fun at Scotty that, you're 30-something years old and you don't know how to kiss a girl. Make that make sense. Anyway, everybody picks up their drinks and they go for chats. You have, the girls are sort of questioning whether the guys are going to be calling them for chats, because it seems the guys are very nervous about pulling the girls for chats. I think people don't want to be sort of rejected, so they're sort of staying in their feelings and sort of keeping away. You have Gabby and Kaz have a conversation because Kaz likes Ronnie, but she doesn't know how to approach it because she was also friends with Elma. So she's worried that will he be open to exploring a connection with her, or will she hurt Elma's feelings because Elma really likes this guy. You then have the guys sort of walk up. You have Marcel and Curtis walk up to the girls and they sit down and have a conversation with Olivia and India. I think the producers must have pushed them to do it because the guys haven't really been proactive. Eventually, you get them separate into their couples. And Marcel is saying to Olivia, he's happy that, he's got someone he really likes. He really likes Olivia. He's asking her what she likes in a partner. And she says she wants a mature man. And so he's giving maturity. And I think he cannot be messy because of his age. He's 39 years old. How can he sort of be messy in the villa? People will call him out because of that. So it's going to be interesting to see how he and Olivia can navigate that. Olivia at times can be messy herself. So I hope she's matured enough since the last time we saw her, and she's able to sort of try and build a proper connection. She says she's never been in a relationship or she's never had a boyfriend. Surprised? Not really. Not really. You have Scotty sort of have a conversation with India, and finally they sort of share a kiss because this is something that they've been thinking about, or something he's been thinking about, because they are not sure because their first kiss was in a challenge, so they share a kiss. And then for him to say, is that it? And it's like, seriously, if you're really into the kiss, why would you be asking that? Why not just lean in for another one, unless you want to make sure that she's consenting to the kiss? Make that make sense? I didn't get that. And then you have Elma finally sit down with Ronnie, and Ronnie instead of saying to her, I feel some type of way about you, saying I'm a shitty kisser, this, that, and the other. And eventually he leans in, they share a kiss, and she says, oh, this is way much better. This is way, way, way much better. She saw Ronnie was ecstatic when he picked up his ticket, and he was really running. He really was running to kiss the girls. I don't think he even stopped to think of who he wanted to kiss. I think he just ran and he kissed the first girls that were available to him. So she then shouts to the rest of the villa that this is way better, and it's like, why are we making such a big deal about a kiss? Just, it is what it is. If you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. There's no need for you to try and sort of make such a big deal and try as though you're trying to embarrass your partner, because if somebody else makes a move on Ronnie, he said he's going to turn, because why should he stay with someone who doesn't appreciate him for the man that he is? So you have Kaz have a conversation with Elma, and she's sort of saying, I really liked Ronnie and I don't know how you feel, because she's already expressed that she's worried about going after someone that she knows somebody else likes. And it's like, you're in the villa, love. You're not in the real world. At the end of the day, if you feel something with someone, then try and explore it. If it works out, amazing. If it doesn't, amazing. It is what it is. Well, Elma was saying the kiss was better. She seems happier. So she was okay with Kaz exploring that. So Kaz pulled Ronnie for a chat. He decided to take it to the secret garden. Ronnie is messy. Turbo is always going to be Turbo. He knew what he wanted, and he knew he didn't want to do it in public. He had just kissed Elma with everybody else watching, so he decided to take Kaz to the secret garden. They went there. I loved their conversation. They really get each other's sort of sense of humor. They really bounce off each other. I think they make a better pairing as compared to Curtis or Elma. And then for Ronnie to say, do you want want to kiss? Do you want to kiss? It's like, Ronnie, you have just shared a kiss less than 10 minutes ago. How are you jumping from that to this? Make that make sense? He really seemed into the kiss, and it seemed long and slow, and he really seemed like he was going for it. So I love that. I can't wait to see what happens. I want him to recouple with Kaz. I want Kaz to stay in the villa. I think Elma, there's nothing stand out about her. I think she's had her time. Sadly, Love Island is not it for her, and it's time for her to go home. You have Elma come out of the bedroom, and then she's called by Ekin-su, who then pulls her for a chat. And they're sort of asking her, oh, Kaz has pulled Ronnie for a chat, Kaz. And she said, yeah, Kaz had a conversation with me, and she told me that she wanted to get to know Ronnie. She's always said that he's in her top 3, so it's nothing new. Ekin-su pulled her aside for a chat. I think Ekin-su was being messy. I think Ekin-su was trying to start the beef and the drama, because she was saying to her, tell me the truth now that we're away from the guys. Tell me, how do you feel about it? And it's like, she's told you she's okay with it. What else do you want her to say? Are you looking for her to sort of start a beef or start a fight just because you want the drama, you want the entertainment? Make that make sense. For Elma to say, oh, well, if they kiss, then I'll feel some type of way. It's like, yeah, you kissed, but you didn't kiss, and say you're closed off. This is day 2, day 3. So please sit down, take several seats. Ronnie's not your person. You only want Ronnie because you want to stay in the villa. You've been hypercritical of his kissing. Now you've realized that nobody else is feeling you that way. This is why you're now claiming, territory over Ronnie. I'm not buying it. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye guys.